Station Dortmund-Dorstfeld Süd.
Justice for Mohammed! Justice for Mohammed! Justice for Mohammed!
On the border with Ukraine, and where? Hello everyone, greetings from the capital of freedom. In this video I will show you how we, ordinary residents of Kyiv, live in our city during the war. So today is the 18th of January 2025. Today Russians launched ballistic missiles at Kyiv at 6 a.m. unexpectedly, because firstly we heard explosions and then there was an air raid. Today Russians killed 3 Kievan residents and 6 more people were injured. So that's the news in Kyiv. And today I will tell you a very funny story. A story of a silly blonde from Kyiv. Be ready to have a cup of tea or even a glass of wine at the end of this story. It is still very cold at the university and it seems I have caught a cold. Sorry for my voice, but today I will tell you a really outrageous story. So this video is about how different we are. We Ukrainians, Americans, Germans. Okay, this video is about a stupid blonde. No, this video is about Germans who are bullying a poor Ukrainian widow with 2 kids. Okay, at the end of this story, you can come up with your title for this video. We will have our Never Give Up community contest for the best title for this video. Oh, my dear friends, it's a sad story. Are you ready? You know, in 2022, I came to Germany twice. Okay, it's very cold. I think it's better to continue this story at home. My dear friends, I have finally arrived home and I will tell you my story at home because it's very cold outside. You could see it by yourself, and it is extremely windy today. And today is the 18th of January 2025, the date when Russians committed one more war crime. 1 second. So, Richie and I will tell you our sad story about Germans who are trying to... Richie, what do Germans want from us? They want money. Please be patient because it will be a very long story, and dates are extremely important in this story because I left Germany in December 2022. The first letter from Germany I got in spring 2023, and last week in January 2025 I got another letter from Germany. So this is a story of a criminal blonde from Kyiv. Are you ready?
Im Kreis.
Accident. Wo, Mering?
Weg, das möchte Polizei.
Ich habe keine Dokumente geschrieben.
Sie muss da nichts schreiben, keine Dokumente, nichts.
Ja, sagt,
Das ist Polizei, ja?
Die haben das mit der grünen Karte alles gemacht und das wird gut jetzt.
Ja, ja, geht's.
Sie muss das selber jetzt reparieren, no? Ihr Auto. Und он потом ехал со своим мотоциклом.
он уехал, он абсолютно нормально.
Hij möchte den Platz mal sehen, wo das passiert ist. Das will ich sehen.
Ihm ist nichts passiert, er konnte
ich
dann weiter.
möchte den Platz sehen.
Ludwig, ich übersetze dir kein Wort. Hörst du, was ich
Ich
sage?
möchte gucken, wo. So,
Ihm
Platz.
ist nichts passiert, er ist
Das ist mir
weggefahren.
egal, aber wer
Ich
schuld-
sage dir
Wer
das.
schuld ist.
Ja, jetzt sitzen wir hier, dann zeige ich dir das.
Nein,
Ich
wer
übersetze
schuld ist.
dir.
Also die Polizei macht das leicht einfach. Du Schuld aus, musst nicht schreiben. Weißt?
Das können wir dann anschauen. Die sind jetzt da, dann können wir dann anschauen. Ja, Ludwig, bitte, nicht jetzt gleich. Nimm Platz und sei ruhig.
So, here is my story in brief. In 2022, when the full-scale war broke out, I went to Germany twice. My kids and I, and our cat Fedya. You remember my cat Fedya, who passed away last year. So, firstly, we lived with a host and his sister in a small, remote village in Bavaria. Our hosts were very friendly. They were almost 90 years old, but they were very friendly and they loved us very much.
Schade, dass wir gestern nicht so haben. Ja, aber das ging nicht. Wir waren mit Sibellenbad, dann noch der Schönreut und
Nur ungefähr.
Ich möchte am Eitelpass haben.
Yeah.
Ist nur was-
Coco.
Then we were allocated a 3-story building in the very center of a small provincial town, and all German. I guess this flat looks like my life right now. Absolutely broken. Okay, no complaining. I have promised. Since this war had started, I have changed already 4 apartments, 2 in Ukraine and 2 in Germany. And now I live in a city, actually not a city, it's a small town, but I live in the very center, near the main landmark of this small German town. Welcome to my new home. And all Germans also loved us very much, and they helped us. They brought us presents. They brought a bike for my son. I think in Germany the status and the education are of super importance, because when Germans got to know that I was a PhD, everyone called me unsere Professorin, and everyone wanted to make friends with me. Maybe I'm wrong and it wasn't the reason, but what I wanted to mention, when I told our German friends that I decided to come back to Ukraine, they were shocked. They couldn't understand. I think some of them even took offense, because they couldn't understand. We were given everything, and they couldn't understand why, instead of tranquility, peace, prosperity, why instead of this paradise I decided to go to a poor country that was attacked by Russian missiles almost every day. That is our Ukrainian mentality. I just wanted to go home. But when I was living in Germany, I filled out a lot of different applications for all kinds of grants and programs at different German universities. And unexpectedly, in August 2022, when we were living in Ukraine, I got an invitation for 3 months internship at one German university. Okay, I will tell you, in Dortmund. And the conditions were as follows. I would be given a scholarship of 2,300 euros, but I would pay for a rented apartment and for utility bills. You know, I can't explain that feeling, but I didn't want to go anywhere at all. And I think it was my greed. Yes, you know, I'm honest with you. It was my greed. And remember, my dear friends, you will be always punished for being greedy. I know for sure. The matter is that here in Ukraine, you know, I'm a PhD and associate professor at the top university of Ukraine, and my salary is equal to $500, sometimes $600. So for me, 2,300 euros seemed like super income. And I'm punished now. Okay. The main problem was that it wasn't easy to find an apartment to rent in Dortmund. And when it came to finding a decent apartment, it appeared that I would have to pay a half of my scholarship, of that huge scholarship, for rent. One German woman from that university tried hard to help us, and finally she found an apartment for 800 euros plus 100 euros for utility bills. That apartment looked quite nice at the photo. But when we came to Germany, when we arrived in Germany, my kids, I and our cat Fedya, we were quite disappointed. Firstly, that apartment appeared not a two-room apartment, but just one tiny room apartment. So my kids slept at that tiny room, and actually I was sleeping in the corridor with Fedya. But please, don't take me wrong, don't think that we are so fussy, picky and ungrateful. That apartment was just a real communal disaster, a real communal apocalypse. The sewage was clogged, there was no hot water, the plumbing was leaking badly, the electricity was out from time to time. What else? And the main thing, the last drop, even in December when there was -7 degrees Celsius, and that temperature wasn't typical for that region. Even when it was -7, that Turkish landlord never switched heating on, never. So it was about 12, sometimes 14 degrees Celsius inside. I will try to find the video from that period and I will show you. What is going on in our Turkish district? Some national celebrations. Where are they going? Oh my god, 3 a.m. Welcome to our Turkish district. Life in a big city. I have never imagined myself fixing such things. Да. Waiting for a Turkish man to repair everything. It was my dream to live like this. I'm not a scandalous person at all, but I started complaining. I came to that Turkish landlord, but he pretended that he didn't understand either my German, okay, my bad German, or my English. Okay, I started writing complaints in German on paper. Again, no reaction. I just decided to go home. So in the middle of December, I came to the Turkish landlord and I told him that we were going to Ukraine. Please give us 800 euros back for January. His wife said, okay. You know, my dear friends, they knew that we were from Ukraine, that Russians had killed my husband, that 800 euros was a huge amount of money for me, but they never gave us that rent, those 800 euros. It's not about money, it's more about attitude. It was a big mistake. On the border? We left on the 27th December 2022. And the day before, I paid 100 euros for electricity, although the bill was less, but I paid with the reverse. I wrote to that German woman who made all the contracts to inform all the service companies that we had gone to Ukraine and paid all the bills. On the 28th of December 2022, we returned to Ukraine and never left the country again. And now the most interesting part begins. So, in spring 2023, I got a letter from Germany informing me that I had to pay a debt for electricity in Germany. The electricity that were used in Achtung in January 2023. My dear friends, Richie, I was so furious. Can you imagine? In January 2023, Russians were attacking Kyiv in a particularly brutal way, and I was almost on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And Germans wanted me to pay for the electricity I never used in my life. As far as I understand, that Turkish landlord just rented that apartment one more time for other people, and those people just didn't sign a new contract with the company that supplied electricity to that district. Richie, sorry. It was so unfair. I do remember life is unfair, but anyway. And when I got another letter last week, I was just paralyzed with rage, with indignation. Like, are you kidding? Germans, are you mocking me? Whom are you demanding money from a poor widow with 2 kids? I never used that electricity. I forgot about my trip. It happened 3 years ago. But they keep on writing and sending me those letters. It's absolutely crazy. But I'm not an exception. I think I'm a typical representative of the Ukrainian mentality, because last week I got a call from my friend. Now she lives in Germany, and she told me her story. So her story is the following. She attended German gym, so she attended a gym in Germany. Then she decided to come back to Ukraine. She wrote a handwritten letter and left it in the reception at that gym. And what was her surprise? So she wrote in that letter that she was going to cancel her contract, with that gym. What was her surprise when in a year she came back to Germany and she got a letter informing her that she had to pay a penalty of 300 euros for not canceling her contract with that gym. She said, I wrote a letter. Who saw that you wrote a letter? No proof, no evidence. So you will be punished, and I will be punished. But it's unfair. I don't know what to do. Right now I'm going to take pictures of my passport. Now we have money for petrol, and it's high time to drive to Ukraine. 2,000 kilometers and lots. Нашего пассажира. Our German passenger is a little bit nervous, and our passenger fed. Правильно? Нам быстрее будет. Now it is 4 a.m. and we're in Poland, and just for $35 we have this absolutely amazing room just because it is very, very warm. You know, in Germany we have been living without heating almost for 2 months. And who is happy? Fedya is happy. Fedya, say hello. Fedya. Федя, нельзя под этим лежать. Вставай. Так опасно. Федя. Нельзя. Вставай. Вставай, говорю. Опять. А ну вставай быстро. Вставай быстро, Федя. Ну нельзя тут лежать. Федя, нельзя. Федя. Frankly speaking, Fedya is not happy at all. Yesterday we drove 1,300 kilometers, but Fedya was the best passenger ever. Fedya. 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 Fedya, выходи. Fedya. 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 Fedya doesn't want to go with us. He decided to hide. I don't know what to do. We should get him. My dear friends, look here. Look at my kitten. My dear friends, you know how emotional I am. I was absolutely furious when I got that letter from Germany. I thought, like, not only the Turk never gave me back my 800 euros, but now Germans are demanding money from me. From whom are you demanding money? Shame on Germans. Germans have no compassion, no conscience, no understanding. So I wrote a long, very emotional, you know me, very emotional letter to Germans, where I described my situation in a very detailed way, and I got no answer, so I just forgot that story. But when last week, in January 2025, sorry, I am sick, and you know, I had a sleepless night because of that ballistic missiles attack. So when I got another letter, it was like I was just paralyzed with rage and anger and what else. So all the spectrum of negative emotions. I called all my friends, Ukrainian friends, and all my friends supported me. They sympathized with me, and they said, Germans are Germans, you know their bureaucracy, but you should have behaved like Germans in Germany, and you should have cancelled that contract with the power company by yourself. My mom told me, you should calm down and write them one more letter. I told her, I'm short for time. I have no time for writing letters to Germans. I do respect them, but sorry. And she said, you should take pictures of your passport and prove them that after the 27th of December 2022, you never crossed the German border, so you just couldn't use that electricity in January 2023. Honestly, I think according to the German laws, nobody would care whether you lived there in January 2023 or whether you didn't. If the contract was signed in your name, you should pay. But it's unfair. It seems I have no proofs at all, only this piece of paper and my passport. Okay, let's take pictures of my passport. It's a sad story. You might ask, why did you tell us such a long story? It is simply that Europeans and Americans do not fully understand Ukrainian mentality and that of Russians. For example, okay, you know how Russians love talking about that mysterious Russian soul. What does it mean? Europeans and Americans just can't understand how Russians can be looking in the eye and lying. How can they call white black and vice versa, and how can they blame the victim for the aggressor's crimes? But I think it's the topic for another video. And I do love Germans, I do respect Germans. The thing is that you should remember, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Toshik, am I right? Toshik. Okay, thank you for watching. Pray for Ukraine and goodbye. And we will be taking pictures of our passport and writing a long letter to Germans.
There can't be no light if darkness don't exist. He never left my side. He showed me the way out of all the storms raging at the sea. He gave me back my life. I owe him everything.